is only war.
What is up, gents? 40k Dirtbags here. We got a battle report for you today. We are doing Grey Knights versus Chaos Space Marine. Gary, we got another game in with him, except playing Death Guard, we're playing Grey Knights. So we're testing out for Nova. This was a 3 Libby list that I wanted to test out one more time before deciding which way we're to go for Nova. Nova is literally next week, so we don't really have a lot of time to test out too many more list variations. Anytime you're going into a GT, you want to kind of tweak it a little bit, not too much, because it's basically playing a whole new list. So this list does really well into vehicles, coming down and just nuking a vehicle every single turn, except it doesn't really do good into hordes, which I noticed playing against Garrett with his 2 accursed cultist units. Not very good when you don't have a fallback shoot and charge strat or any fallback type maneuvers. We can only get out of dodge with our miss once, and it only is not in combat. So a lot to take in from this battle report, so hopefully you guys enjoy it. Let me know in the comments below what you liked, didn't like. Shout out to all my Patreons. You guys are fucking awesome. If you guys are interested in supporting the channel, head over to the Patreon. We're selling a bunch of merch. You don't have to be a patron on Discord, but if you are on Discord, we're selling still all these stickers, $3 each, buy 2, get 1 free. And then the 3D6 Wargaming is sponsoring us for the mats, which you can pick any 6 variations and colors and put them on a mat and get them shipped to your house. So that's pretty cool. And also dice. We got 2 different colored dice left. We have bright green, which is really cool looking, and then silver, both with the Dirtbags logo. So if you guys want to support the Dirtbags, they're $1 each. And then if you guys are interested in a Caldus Assassin or a Codiez, we are 3D printing those. So we have those up for donation. So if you guys are interested, definitely hit me up on Discord. And if you guys are interested in getting the competitive scene, that's what Patreon's for. If you guys are competitive Patreon Dirtbag or a Grandmaster Patreon Dirtbag, make sure you're messaging me any questions, comments, list ideas, tactics. Get your money's worth. So that's always up for you guys. Definitely let me know if you guys are Grandmasters. You get a lot of suggestions. You get to suggest battle reports, videos, TTS games, all that stuff. That's kind of the competitive, or that's the Grandmaster Dirtbag. Competitive Dirtbag is you get to message me one-on-one. We go over tactics, ideas, and list composition to get you better at 40k as a player. So let's get into the video. All right, so this is, I took a bunch of pictures for you guys. Anytime we're playing at alternate universes in Bluebell, Pennsylvania. It's very loud there because there's a lot of people on Monday Night Gamings, but this video, we take pictures over the top and we go over tactics on what I did, what he did, what we could have done better, missions, all that stuff. So we're practicing for Nova. So we played the mission. It's 9-inch, or we're doing the slanted deployment. So it's 30 inches in the center right here. And then we have to the corner. So our deployment is over there and over there. Everything you see here is ruins. These over here are forests. Forest. This is the alternate universes table setup, which we're going to be changing very soon. But this is the deployment right there, and those are the objectives. So it's basically, I think, 21 inches or 20 inches up, 20 inches up, and then 14 inches by 10. This is 20 by 10. So 20 by 10, 20 by 10, and the one smack dab in the middle. So I measured, and you can't really get your units with strikes. You can't get them onto the objectives with scout moves, which kind of sucks, because then you can, if you go first, you can scout move up, make that sticky, and then kind of get away. But you have to be careful, because if you don't go first, you have to either fall back with your scout move or kind of move closer towards this wall so you don't get shot at. So let's go over the list real quick, and then we'll be back. All right, today we got 1 Purifier unit, 10-man with the Flamers. We have 2 units of 5 strikes with side cannons. We have Crow, 3 Librarians. So we got these guys stepping in for some Librarians with our actual Librarian. We have the Caldus Assassin and Codiez. We have 4-man unit of the Henchmen for Codiez, Inquisitor Henchmen. And then we have the Exaction Squad. Then we have 3 units of Terminators, all have banners and apothecaries, and each of them have a flamer in each squad, and that is 2,000 point Grey Knight. What we got today?
So today we have Chaos Space Marines. We're starting off with 2 Forge Fiends, 1 unit of Nurglings, 1 unit of Flamers. Characters, we got Cypher, we have Abaddon here with 5 Terminators. The Changeling allied in, a unit of Bikes, 2 units of a Cursed Cultist. This one has a Dark Commune, this one does not. A unit of regular Cultists, and a 4-mana Obliterator unit.
And what are the marks?
So, it's Chaos Undivided, Undivided, Nurgle, everything, Undivided, Nurgle.
Got it.
All right, so those are the lists. He actually printed a really good looking Cursed Cultist. So if you guys are interested in that, definitely go ask him on Discord. But I bought 3 fucking full units of Cursed Cultists before the 3D print came out. So I have all legit Cursed Cultists, and he's printing all the units of a Cursed Cultist, which are way cheaper. But Garrett has he's a casual player. No, I'm just kidding. Garrett is a competitive player. He is running very competitive lists, and he started maybe 6 to 8 months ago. He goes to almost every single RTT that we have. He's trying to get into the GT competitive scene. So anytime we play, I try and coach him as much as I possibly can to get him better, so that way he's a better opponent for everybody going against him, and eventually he's going to start winning RTTs with this fucking list because it's deadly. So this is everything that we set up. Our deployment, or our thing, looks like this. So I put Deep Strike first of the fray with our Libby. These 2 are in reserves, and these 2 are in reserves. Assassin, I think, is in Deep Strike, not reserves. And then this is our deployment. So we have our strikes on the line, Terminators with Libby, and then Purifiers in the zone here with a strike. So strike always starting on the objective to try and make it sticky turn 1. If you go first, you can move up to the zones. They're outside of 6 inches, so you won't be able to get on top of them, but at least you're able to get closer if you need to do something in the center for a secondary mission. And then his deployment, he has everything castled up near Abaddon from the 4-up Invuln save. We have a Cursed Cultist over here with the bikes. First time he's using bikes, which I think are really, really good for Chaos. Unit of 10 Cultists back here, starting on the objective, so that way he can get sticky. And then I think he put his Cypher in the back here, and then 2 Forge Fiends. So our first thing is extend battle lines and overwhelming force. So while this secondary mission is active, each time an enemy unit starts a turn on range of an objective marker is destroyed. So this is tough because I have to figure out what we're going to kill. He has 2 fucking Accursed Cultist blobs. Only 1 on the objective. He also has Abaddon Terminators and a Forge Fiend. So I can't get all 3. Since I'm going first, I can't teleport assault all 3 Librarians, or I probably would have, to try and kill the Forge Fiend to get the secondary. But there's nothing else that I can kill on these objectives, so that was kind of tough. Then we have extend battle lines. At the end of your turn, we control 1 or more objectives in your own deployment zone, and also control 1 or more objectives in no man's land. That was an easy one, so we got 5 points there. And then he got assassination and investigate signals, and this is kind of what it is at the end of this is turn 2. Okay, so let me go back. So this is what we got turn 1. What we did turn 1, let me go to the main picture. What we did turn 1 was we basically first to the frayed back down here on the bottom objective. So first to the frayed down here on the bottom objective with our Terminator squad. Once they first to the frayed, we shot his bikes that were on the side here, because I know bikes are there mainly to do secondary. So I wanted to tell first to the fray, turn 1 on the objective, and shoot and try and kill as many bikes as I can. If I kill 3, perfect. If not, try and whittle them down, because bikes are going to be there mainly to do secondary. So if I can kill his secondary units, that's going to limit him to his big blob units that have to do secondary. So if you can kill secondary units, try and do that as much as possible. Everybody else basically hid for the first turn, because going first with Grey Knight, you can't teleport assault. So we only had the Librarian come in first to the fray to try and kill some bikes. Everything else basically just got on the objective. So we got some strikes and Terminators on the objective over here. We spread out everybody else, and we left this center objective pretty much open. The Purifiers waited in this building just for 1 turn, so that way next turn they could be brought in. So again, his thing, he got Assassinate, which he couldn't really kill anybody, and then Investigate Signals. So he investigated signals his bike down here in the corner down here, and then he investigated signals over here with Cypher. So he was able to investigate signals twice, and he couldn't get assassinate. So at least he got 4 points there. So he then moved up his accursed cultist on the objective, which then I spent 1 CP, which he vected, which was smart. So he spent 1 CP to get the guys out of dodge, go back into reserves. And when they went back into reserves, he moved everybody else up and didn't really have a ton to shoot at. So he had a quick first turn. I had a quick first turn. My then secondaries were engaged in all fronts and behind enemy lines. So behind enemy lines, remember, he's got slanted deployment. So he's starting 30 inches right where my assassin is and going all the way to the corner. So I have to try and get 2 units on his in his battle line to get behind enemy lines and be in every single table quarter. So we had a unit over here. We had our strikes back in this corner. We had I think the purifiers came down. Purifiers up there, and then we walked on some guys right here. I think Exaction Squad or Inquisitor Henchman right here just to get in that table quarter. So we had all 4 table quarters and we had 2 behind his enemy lines. Now this is where I fucked up. See the assassin? Way too close. I threw the assassin away, didn't even vect with her. So the assassin was there to try and get secondaries. She got a secondary and then she died without even vecting. So 115 points I wasted, and she died because Abaddon's unit was way too close. So on my second turn, I brought the purifiers in over here, which was a full purified blob. He overwatched with this guy. No full rerolls, so he hits on 6s, exploding 6s, no rerolls. So he didn't get a ton in. I think he killed 2 guys. So he killed 2 purifiers, which then they hit on 2. So I was like, oh, sweet. So I brought them down. I killed the cultists and I killed Cypher. So we killed Cypher and the cultist, but Cypher already vected, so Cypher kind of did his job. So he didn't really care that Cypher died. I had a cursed cultist standing in front of me. I had Abaddon with the Terminators in front of me, and then I had 2 Hellbrutes in front of me. So not a ton of options over here. It was basically this unit down here of a cursed cultist, or kills back units back here to try and do some secondary. So we went back here because we needed behind enemy lines as well. So you'll see that this was a mistake, but we'll go over that in a little bit. All the 3 Libbies, we had 1 librarian here, 1 librarian here, and 1 librarian here, all 18 inches away from this Hellbrute. So we came down and we just vortex, 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 and we killed the Hellbrute. So he was shocked that, we could do that. And I got a game in with Mike to figure out that we could do this. So I knew that 3 Libbies can kill a Forge Fiend in 1 turn. So we killed 1 Forge Fiend, and now everybody's kind of just chilling in their quarters. Now his turn, he got Defend Stronghold and Storm Hostile Objective. So he has to take over an objective. Let me turn this upside down. Control 1 or more objectives that were controlled by your opponent at the start of turn, which should be because I wasn't really on too many objectives. Your opponent didn't control any. All right, so here we go. I wasn't on the center, so he couldn't get that one. Up here, he couldn't really get close to me up there. And then I wasn't on the home field, and I wasn't on this one. So I wasn't on a lot of objectives. So at the start of his turn, he had 2 objectives. So I was on 2, he was on 2, so I had 10, he had 10. He then advanced Abaddon up, and he found out that this is a 8-inch, so that's why I put the dice down there, 8-inch charge to get to those guys. I spent 2 CP to fucking remove these guys off the table because he vected it. So I had 2 CP to remove this Libby squad off the table. And then these guys got shot by his undivided Forge Fiend. So if I was him, I'd probably reserve the Forge Fiend. You'd have to add up the points and see if you can, but if you can reserve a undivided Forge Fiend, they don't have to be near Abaddon because you don't really care about the rerolls because you're going to spend 1 CP to get full rerolls to hit and wound anyway. So reserving a Forge Fiend is definitely a good idea. He shot my fucking purifiers. AP 3 is no joke, and full rerolls to hit, full rerolls to wound. He did, what was it? He killed 12 guys. No, he killed 6 guys. So he did 12 mortal wounds and then 5 fucking saves. So he wounded me like 11 times with a Forge Fiend. No, 4 6s, which was 12 mortal wounds, and then 5 saves. So he basically killed my entire fucking squad of purifiers, which is 300 points. So right there, he already doubled his points for that one Forge Fiend. So that is just how fucking busted these Forge Fiends are, especially undivided and not needing anybody else to just full rerolls. And if you get a lot of 6s for the full rerolls or wounds, you're just done. No mortal wound protection, so our 300 point purifier unit, Crow's the last one there. 300 point purifier unit is now dead. Crow is the only one alive. These guys are kind of just chilling on the objective. They're now holding this for the rest of the game. Abaddon needs to make an 8-inch charge. He fails, and then he rolls again, and he fails. So luckily, this game would have ended turn 2 if Abaddon made that charge into this unit. So what happens is, if Abaddon charges this unit on an 8, makes it, kills this unit, piles into this unit can't teleport assault or get out of dodge next turn. So I did have to fall back, and then that's it. And then I don't really do anything. Then Abaddon next turn just sweeps up that unit again, or I just sit there for another turn and get beat in my face by Abaddon. So that was a huge play that he missed, just didn't roll an 8. But if he did get it, it's basically over turn 2. That I don't know what I would have done differently. He advanced, rolled a pretty good advance, and was in range of basically 2 units. So I put 18 inches away from the Forge Fiend. Maybe if I didn't kill the Forge Fiend, he's just going to shoot me again next turn anyway. So you kind of have to kill the Forge Fiends, or maybe kill Abaddon's unit. But again, tough call. They all shot into the Kaldis Assassin. They're all within 12 inches. They get full rerolls to hit if they Dark Pact for Terminators, which is really good. Just built into their profile. So they're all shooting the chick. He did 4 mortal wounds, and then she died. So Assassin did not get my work out of her. These guys moved up and killed my my 4 little servitors down here. So they moved up, charged. This guy, 1 bike, again, just does his job, getting in corners, doing missions. And then that was it. So, fucking Blitz came in my back zone. So Blitz shot and killed my 5 strikes on the point over here. So his turn, he killed 5 strikes, 10 purifiers, assassin, and 4 servitor dudes on here. Pretty good turn too. Chaos just have so much firepower. So that's my dead pile. This is the end of the turn. So my turn 3, I get no prisoners and bring it down. So if I kill the Forge Fiend, that'll count for both. So I'll get no prisoners and bring it down. And if I kill this solo bike dude, that'll be bringing it down as well. What other easy targets are there? That's really it. So I have to kill the Forge Fiend, this solo bike, and those are probably the easiest targets he has. He has 2 Cursed Cultist units, 1 without a Dark Commune, 1 with. And then Abaddon and his big Terminator, or 5 Terminator brick, and a Blitz. All fucking hard to kill. So we pick up all of our guys. We teleport them then away from Abaddon. So we put them down here. 1 came within 3 inches to steal the home field objective. So I put 1 on the objective to steal it. And then these guys came in the backfield to get line of sight on the Forge Fiend. These guys walked in the backfield, the Exaction Squad. They walked in the backfield. Crow, I think, just moved up. So Crow is now behind this little thing over here. Or I think I picked up Crow and put him back here. Yeah, I think that's his little flag. So I picked up Crow and put him in my backfield, just kind of chill back there. And then these guys came in up here with Codiez to try and kill this bike. So Codiez actually isn't bad with, mortal wounds, killing some people. So he came in, shot here. I shot my Libby and everything into here. Libby into this Forge Fiend, killed the Forge Fiend. So then we tried to, I believe, charge these guys. Did we charge? Yeah, so I think we didn't charge. We didn't charge because we didn't want to get tied up. We didn't want him to bring all of his guys onto the objective. So we really just wanted to steal the objective and go into the next turn. So his turn, he gets 10 again because he controls the center and the bottom objective. And he gets Storm. He gets Storm Hostile Objective and Defend Stronghold. So he kept Defend Stronghold for some reason, which is only 3 points. So that's kind of why we stopped his home field defend stronghold, so we kept him from getting those 3 extra points. And then if you control 1 or more objective markers that are controlled by your opponent at the start of the turn, so if he takes his backfield objective, he's going to be able to get that pretty easily. So let's go back to the picture. Oblitz, everything came in from him now. So he's got flamers on the objective. He's got the changeling in the corner. He's got nurglings in the corner blocking all that stuff out. And then his Oblitz moved up 4 inches to shoot my strike squad, which I couldn't advance more past the ruin. So I fucked these guys up. These guys maybe should have hopped. I'm surrounded by all things. So maybe I should just put them up in deep strike. But I'm surrounded by these guys, and the Oblitz. So I couldn't really go anywhere without either getting charged or getting shot by the Oblitz. So they didn't have to do their once per game ignore line of sight. They basically all had line of sight to this one fucking dude right here. So they all just blew up that unit, and Crow's the last one in this corner over here. These guys needed a 5, I believe, on the advance, which they fucking get. So he got those 2. I got Secure No Man's Land. Secure No Man's Land and Cleanse. So at the end of your turn, if you control 2 or more objectives, you get 5 points. If you control 1, you get 2 points. And Cleanse, if you're on an objective, you get 3 for 1 and then 5 for 2. So in this turn, let's go back to this turn. He killed my strikes. I believe he killed this Libby unit over here with, or Abaddon moved up. I spent 2 CP, got them out of dodge. So I'm on 0 CP. I have a Librarian unit back here still, and then I have a unit of Exaction Squad. So basically, I just keep running away from Abaddon. And now this turn, I have to figure out what to do. So I kept these guys on the table. I teleported Crow over to this corner. And then I teleported the other second squad of Libby Librarian in this corner. So I have Librarian unit coming down here within 3 inches on this objective to try and steal back. Then I have these 2 guys coming down to try and kill the Terminators. So I can put enough mortal wounds in the Terminators. Maybe I can kill all the Terminators and start wounding Abaddon, which there wasn't just enough firepower to do it. There wasn't enough mortal wounds either. I think I rolled a 6 once this game and rolled a 4 for the damage. So we had these guys move up because I left them on the table, so I was able to make a guy 2 inches forward, move up, and then charge his accursed cultist to steal the objective. So they're sitting on the objective with like 17 OBSEC. Exaction squad's there for 1 more turn to come out and hopefully help out next turn. These guys are just chilling. I failed to charge with both these units because they were outside 9 inches. And then on his turn, he needed to steal this objective because I was controlling it because it's sticky. He needs to roll 5. He's basically 11 inches away from getting onto this objective. And of course, he rolls a fucking 5. So he gets the advance onto my home field objective. So he captures enemy outposts, which I think was 8. And then deploy teleport homers. He was in my backfield. So I think he was able to... Who did he deploy with? He might have deployed... Oh, with these guys. So deploy teleport homers with one of these guys. These guys shot out of line of sight. So he moved back in my deployment zone, deployed teleport homers. That was 5. That was an easy 5. And then he got capture my enemy outpost because he rolled a fucking 5 on my backfield objective. So he advanced those guys and got there. So he got 8 and then 5 for 13, which was crazy. So really good turn for him. And then he moves up as a Cursed Cultist to try and get these guys in combat. Abaddon then moves up and charges this unit with 1 Terminator left. So Abaddon into this unit, Cursed Cultist into this unit. Don't really care what this unit does because now the Cursed Cultists are tying my unit up. I can't do anything in combat. And then Abaddon moves up and charges this unit and just deletes that unit off the table. These guys, out of line of sight once per game, obliterate my 5 Terminators with my Librarian. So just... I think he spent 1 CP because they're undivided. 4 rolls to hit, 4 rolls to wound, and just nuked them off the table. And this is basically the end of the game. So we got a couple of Cursed Cultists here. We have Abaddon and Libby not in combat with Crow. And my missions I got on this turn was assassinate. Couldn't kill Abaddon. I didn't have anybody really left. I had one librarian unit stuck in combat. Storm hostile objective. So if you control one or more objectives that are controlled by your opponent at the start of the turn, which I controlled his backfield, so he doesn't control that one, and he controls everything else. So I can't get really anywhere else. I can't teleport assault because I'm in combat. Crow's one obsec, so I can't get on an objective to steal something. And defend stronghold, which I can't get as well. So I spent 1 CP and I picked up I think I picked assassinate first. I spent 1 CP and then I got defend stronghold. So picking those secondaries, there's literally nothing I could do in my turn. So I was like, bro, we just have to call it because there's literally nothing I could do, and you're gonna table me next turn anyway. So he got no prisoners and engaged in all fronts, which he was able to do. So at the end of the game, let's go to the main thing. So end of the game, he had 5 or maybe 3 or 4 Curse Cultists left, which in his command phase, he would bring more guys back and just kind of keep flooding his zone. Abaddon was by himself, so Abaddon could just walk up and kill my 5-man Terminator unit with the Librarian. So Abaddon basically killed all 3 Terminator units. No, he killed 2 Terminator units with 2 Librarians, and then the Oblitz killed Strike Squad, Terminator Squad. So the Oblitz killed 3 squads, Abaddon killed 2 squads, Forge Fiend killed the Purifiers. So this squad did super heavy lifting. The Forge Fiend killed double his costs, and then Abaddon obviously just munches fucking Grey Knights like it's his job. And I think that was it. So end of the game. All right, here we go. Garrett 79 to 58. Derek, Grey Knights. We got 10-10. 5-5 for primary, so we got 30 out of 50, which is pretty bad. Extend battle lines, we got 5 turn 1, we got 10 turn 2, which is where we lost most of our units on turn 2. Bring it down, no prisoners, good combination. And then cleanse and no man's land, we had 5, and then the last turn we had 0. So we only had 28 out of 40 for secondaries, which is again pretty bad. He had 10-10-10-20. I don't know how we got 20 at the end. 10, 20, 30, 45, maybe 45. I have no idea why that says 20. And then for turn 1, he got 4 for investigate signals. He had 0 for turn 2, which is cool. 5 for storm hostile objective. 8 and 5, which was huge for him on turn 4. And then 4 and 3 on turn 5. So he had 29 out of 40 for the secondary. So finished off the end of the game 74 battle ready. So it should be really 84 to 68, which is still pretty fucking good. Yeah, so biggest takeaway you guys saw was positioning, and if Abaddon would have made his 8-inch charge that one turn, it would have really been game over by turn 2. So it's a tough list against Chaos to go against, especially with Grey Knights. But with Chaos, you have really good game into Grey Knights as long as you focus down really squads at a time. Like if you can kill all 10 fucking Purifiers in one turn, or if Abaddon can get into combat with a unit, he's just going to delete it off the table. Obliterators are really good into us, and Forge Fiends obviously are really good into us. And a Cursed Cultist, if you can get us into combat, we shut down half of our mobility, like just getting away. So trying to make a 9-inch charge or force us to do Cypher strat to get away, I think is the best vect that you can do for us, because that just limits our mobility so much. If I were to play this again, I would go with my Grandmaster and my Paladins. I'm testing out a couple lists this weekend. We're going to be throwing up some stuff on Discord, so we're going to be testing a Brother Captain with 10 Paladins with the exploding 6s, and then we're going to be testing out a Land Raider, and we're going to be testing out the Chaplain for the first time in 10th edition. So stay tuned for that. If you guys are Patreon, all these videos come out first on the Patreon. So if you guys want to go support us, head over to Patreon. If you guys want to get better at 40k, head over to Patreon, join the Dirtbag competitive play. If you guys really want to go balls to the wall and want to see specific videos made for you, head over to the Grandmaster Patreon. So if you guys are interested in some Dirtbag dice, they roll pretty good. That's up on Discord. And if you guys are at Nova or going to LVO, definitely let me know in the comments below. But what can we improve, what you liked, what you didn't like, and let me know if you like these type of battle reports, because we are doing them a little bit more because it is easier and it takes a lot less time, and there's not that much background noise in it. So that's always fun. So appreciate it, guys. Good luck, and we'll see you in another video soon.